Hello, my people. Welcome back to Schengen Travels. So, I got this question from one of you. Hello, Mr. Ben. Please, between Albania and Serbia, which of these countries is better to hustle in with a legit work visa? I have 4 million naira for the work permit, visa, and plane ticket. And trust me, that's not the first time I've received that question. So today, I'm breaking everything down step by step. We'll talk about the rules, real-life experiences from people who've gone through the process, the fees, flight costs, job markets, timelines, and of course, my clear recommendation so you can decide which country fits your hustle dream. Here's the plan. First, I'll show you the legal route and how each country handles work visas. Second, we'll talk about the estimated costs and timelines. Third, I'll share the on-the-ground reality from Facebook and Reddit groups. Fourth, we'll look at job opportunities, salaries, and cost of living. And finally, my personal recommendation if you're working with a 4 million naira budget. Sounds good? Let's dive in. Let's start with Serbia. The Serbian system is pretty straightforward. As a non-EU national, you'll need a Visa D, long-stay visa, for employment, followed by a temporary residence permit and a work permit. And here's the catch. You must have a job offer first. Your employer usually sponsors the paperwork. So the process is Visa D, work permit, residence permit. That's the standard route. For more details, check the official Serbian government site at www.welcometoserbia.gov.rs/residence-and-work-permit. Now for Albania. Albania's process is similar. Employers must first secure work authorization before you can start working. Then you'll apply for a work permit, a national Visa D, and finally, a residence permit. Many times, the employer or an EOR, employer of record, will handle most of the process for you. But again, the key requirement is still a valid job offer. So bottom line, in both countries, a tourist visa won't cut it. You need a documented job offer and employer sponsorship. If you want a smoother experience, use recruiters or EORs. If you try to DIY everything, prepare for a lot of back and forth. Okay, now let's talk money. First, let's convert 4 million naira into euros. At today's rate, that's about 2,200 euros to 2,300 euros. That's the budget we'll be working with for permits, visa, and ticket. Serbia fees and timelines. Work permit admin fees, around 100 to 150 euros. Residence permit fees, modest, bringing the total to around 300 to 450 euros. Processing time. Usually 2 to 6 weeks, though some people wait longer, depending on the embassy and their case. Albania fees and timelines. Work permit plus visa fees, usually 100 to 250 euros. Processing time, 2 to 8 weeks, depending on the workload. Flights from Lagos to Belgrade or Tirana. Round-trip tickets cost about $600 to $1,200. That's roughly 550 to 1,100 euros. Sometimes you'll find cheaper one-way deals, but for safety, budget 500 to 1,000 euros. Rough budget breakdown. Serbia, visa and permits 150 to 300 euros. Flight 500 to 1,000 euros. Extras, insurance, translations, legalization, courier, 150 to 300 euros. Then for Albania, nearly the same numbers. So is 4 million naira enough? Yes, but just barely. It will cover your visa, permit, and a one-way ticket if you keep flight costs on the lower side and your employer covers part of the process. If you're paying for relocation services or flying in peak season, you'll be cutting it close. Now, let me share what real people have said in Facebook and Reddit groups. For Serbia, people say the paperwork itself is straightforward, but the waiting time at the embassy can be frustrating. Some applicants said they waited up to 2 months for decisions, but those whose employers helped, smooth and fast. For Albania, the biggest issue people mention is the job market. It's small, and employers often prefer EU or nearby candidates. Many Africans who shared their experiences said it was harder to get sponsorship there compared to Serbia. Jobs exist, but mostly in hospitality and construction, often seasonal or informal. Warning: don't book non-refundable tickets until your visa is approved. Many people, including myself back in the day, lost money that way. Be careful with recruiters or agents who promise fast results for big money. If you must use an agent, make sure they're reputable and registered. Okay, let's talk jobs. In Serbia, foreigners can find work in tech, IT outsourcing, hospitality, logistics, seasonal agriculture, teaching, and some skilled trades. Belgrade especially has a growing tech scene and is used to hiring internationals. In Albania, jobs are mainly in tourism, hospitality, and construction. There's some room for small business or entrepreneurship, but international corporate hiring is limited. In terms of salaries, don't expect Western European paychecks. In Serbia, tech and skilled jobs pay well enough for a comfortable life, but low-skilled jobs won't give you much savings. Albania pays even less than Serbia, especially outside the capital, Tirana. For language, Serbian language, uses Cyrillic and Latin script. English is common in tech and among young people, but not everywhere. Albanian language. English is common in tourism and with young folks in Tirana. So, learning at least basic local phrases will really help you stand out and integrate faster. On safety, both countries are generally safe for foreigners. Of course, apply normal city precautions. On community, Belgrade and Tirana both have active expat groups, especially on Facebook. Many foreigners said those groups help them find housing, jobs, and connections. And trust me, once you find the right community, everything becomes easier. So, which country is better to hustle with a legit work visa if you have for €1,000,000? If you're targeting employer-sponsored work in tech, IT, or professional jobs, I'd strongly recommend Serbia. The job market is bigger, employers are more used to sponsoring, and the fees are modest. If you're targeting seasonal hospitality or construction where you already have connections in Albania, then Albania could work. But getting employer sponsorship as a Nigerian, there will be harder. Budget plan, practical. Flights, 700 naira. Visa plus permits, 150 naira. Extras, insurance, translations, buffer 300k, 1M naira. Total? Around 1.2M, 2.7M naira, which means your 4M naira budget is workable if you plan carefully. Tips to improve your chances. Target Serbian recruiters, especially in tech. If an employer is small and can't handle permits, use an EOR, employer of record. It's faster, though more expensive. Be active in Facebook expat groups and LinkedIn. Many legit job leads are shared there. So here's my final answer. Serbia is the better option if you want a smoother, legal hustle path with a legit work visa. Albania works too, but mainly for seasonal jobs or if you have contacts on the ground. Your 4M naira budget is enough, but always push for the employer to cover part of the cost. That's the smartest way to reduce risk. If you want me to share a step-by-step checklist for these applications, let me know in the comments, and I'll prepare one for you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with anyone who's planning to move abroad. See you in the next one.